What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 5. So, all the guys have gotten together to go axe throwing. And for the first half of their time there at the axe throwing place, Eugene is begging and whining for Kieran to apologize to him for the Halloween costume joke that him and Anila played on Eugene and Toya, which is they were dressed up as movers when they showed up to the Halloween party with the U-Haul truck, the whole shebang, and they were just poking fun at the fact that Eugene and Toya are constantly moving, and so Eugene was so butthurt about this. And I know that his anger really wasn't about the Halloween costumes and the joke that Karen and Anila were trying to play on him. I think he was angry at himself and probably even more angry at his wife because now he's realizing, if he hadn't already before, that this is probably how the whole world looks at them. That these people are crazy, they're fools for moving every 6 months or every other year. They are selling a home, building a new one, selling a home, building a new one, living in rentals half the year, living in their dream home the other half until Toya's changed her mind and wants a bigger house. So I think he's realizing now that this is how we're seen. For it to be a joke for someone else to play on us, this is probably how we're seen to the majority of the people. And if that's how you're thinking, Eugene, you're absolutely right. So he's begging and pleading for an apology from Kieran. And Kieran will say he's sorry, but then right after that, he'll come back and say, but I thought it was really, really funny. I think the other men at the table, Curtis, Cecil, Dr. Damon, I think they all are looking at this like, Eugene, you're being a baby. You're being a really big baby. Now, Dr. Damon brought up some Bible quote or some Bible verse about, don't talk about the speck in my eye when you have a whole big piece of wood in yours or something. What was the word a plank. Don't talk about the speck in my eye when you have a plank in yours. And I don't know if that was directed at Kieran, like don't poke fun at them when you probably have other issues in your own home. I don't know if that's what they were trying to say. But then Dr. Damon went on to say that being on the show, he's learned to develop some very thick skin because things have been said about him that have been very hurtful, and he's just learned to ignore it. And I wonder if he was like trying to direct that at Eugene for telling Eugene, you got to get some thick skin. Eugene was just a big baby. I'm sorry. He was a baby about this. The more he whined about it, the more he was like, oh, you need to apologize. You better apologize. And you hurt my feelings. And da, da, da. The more he went on and on about this stupid Halloween joke, like he was bringing more light to it than it deserved because it could have just been left at the damn party. A couple of people would have chuckled and we all would have moved on. Either it was a funny joke or it wasn't, but we all would have moved on. But the fact that you're still bringing this up and you're still hurt about it and you're talking about it in your confessional, and Toya in the confessional, when they're talking about Kieran and Anila, I don't know if Toya's drunk in the confessional or what, but she just got this big old goofy grin plastered on her face and she's giggling the whole time. Eugene is like pouring out his heart about how hurt he was about this Halloween joke. And so I just felt like, Eugene, you took it way too seriously. It wasn't that big of a deal. If you don't want people to poke fun at you, why don't you just stay put? Why don't you just build a dream home and just stay in it and live in it? Is that such a weird concept to you and Toya? And then at the Halloween party, when he was still in his Jay-Z getup, and he was screaming at Kieran, because Kieran said, y'all move all the time. And then Eugene screamed back, everybody moves. Yes, Eugene, everybody moves, but not everybody builds, 13,000 square foot mansions every 6 months. That's not what everybody does. And live in a rental more than they live in their dream home. Moving on from there. Jackie, Heavenly, and Simone. So Jackie had planned a lunch with Heavenly and Simone, but didn't tell the other that the other was going to be there. And this was her way of trying to, like bridge the gap and smooth out things between Heavenly and Simone, because Heavenly and Simone have been involved in a really bad feud, all stemming from Cecil and Heavenly going back and forth on Twitter. So they are all three there, and Jackie says that she wants to plan a trip for all the girls, and it's going to be a Vegas trip, and that's basically that. Simone asks Heavenly, how are you going to go on a trip with all the girls when you don't get along with anybody? And Heavenly said that she made her apology tour. She apologized to Toya, we saw that. She apologized to Quad, we saw that, little clips. And she said she I guess tried to reach out to Contessa. Contessa wasn't having it, so she sent her a text message apologizing. So when they were showing us the clips of Heavenly apologizing to Toya and apologizing to Quad, we saw her apologize to Quad at the Halloween party, and I think Heavenly and Quad are fine. Quad has too much confidence in herself to really let Heavenly worry her, except that, I mean, Heavenly was out there pretty bad talking about Quad sleeping with married men. Not just on this show, but like on her actual YouTube channel. But I guess Quad was like, whatever. Her apologizing to Toya didn't seem to like really take Heavenly serious. Like she really wasn't accepting it, but we'll see. So, Anila, we see her at home with her children and her husband. Not at home, at her husband's office. She takes her kids to her husband's office and she's complaining about how she needs help. She can't function. She can't do anything because these kids, her own children that she birthed, are always attached to her because, yeah, you're their mom. And so she says that she needs help. And so she's suggesting that maybe her parents can come and help her out because she says that when her kids are home, she just can't blog. She can't blog because, her kids are there and they're demanding her attention. I'm not understanding Anila at all. Like, you act like you're not used to being around your children whatsoever. You act like Nanny Gomez was the number one primary caretaker, and I thought a nanny was supposed to help out, not completely take over the role as their mother. Moving on from there, Contessa. So her trainer comes over because she's getting ready for a fitness competition. I think she's going to do what Teresa Giudice did, one of those bikini fitness type of competitions. So she tells her trainer that she's got a plan. She's got a trip to Vegas, and the trainer tells her, okay, even in Vegas, even though with all the restaurants and all the food that's available there, you can still always find very healthy options. So don't get off track just because you are going to Las Vegas. Dr. Heavenly has her friend come over. This is the new lady, Audra, the real estate attorney. And Heavenly says that she's really hurt, confused, and sad about Contessa getting everybody to ambush her, gathering up her enemies to come and ambush her. And so, yeah, she's really hurt by that. But, Dr. Heavenly, you kind of brought it on yourself, the way you were talking about people on your YouTube channel. Now, I have mentioned before that I've been watching her YouTube channel. I've gone all the way back, I think about a year. And I don't know why she does it. I don't understand why she does it. I don't know if she feels like she's giving her audience like an inside take about like what goes on behind the scenes, or telling people stuff that they didn't show on TV, kind of like getting them like explaining stuff that was going on behind the scenes with the women and giving up more information than what was seen on. I don't understand like why she does this, but I really don't understand. I'm still trying to understand like why Heavenly would sit up there and talk about her own friends, and she refuses. She absolutely refuses at the part that I'm at. I don't know if she changed her mind in the future, but she will not talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta because people had asked her to do reviews on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she says, no, I know those women. I don't know them, but I know them, and I just don't want no smoke. But you won't smoke from your own cast members that you have to be around? That doesn't make any sense. Moving on. So it's the day of the damn trip. I don't know how Heavenly or Contessa can go on a trip knowing that there's somebody in the group that you are having some serious issues with. I would not have been able to do it. It just not would have been, it would not have been worth my peace of mind to go on a trip that I otherwise would have enjoyed if that one person wasn't there. It just would not have been worth it for me. I don't know how they did it. And then for whatever reason, Bravo is constantly shoving Kara down our throats. Why is Kara there? Why? At least bring Lisa Nicole. To me, Lisa Nicole is a lot more interesting and entertaining to watch than Kara. But Kara's back. And whatever. So Contessa, somebody brings up, was Anila. Anila brings up playing the game Never Have I Ever. And Contessa says, yeah, this game could work if everyone is transparent and honest. And she was, I guess, directing that to Heavenly. Toya wants Jackie to drink, and she knows that Jackie doesn't drink. So why even bring that up? I think by this time Toya was drunk. So Toya wants Jackie to drink, and Audra, the new lady, was trying to tell Toya, look, she just doesn't drink. That's just not her thing. Leave her alone. And then Toya turns around and tells her, well, you're not a good attorney. And I think the only reason why Toya said that, because Toya was probably like, man, you know, she was probably looking around and she was like, okay, so they brought a new chick on the show, and the new chick, you know, is working. She's a professional, you know, just another person to contrast against Toya, to make Toya look like someone who just does nothing but eat bonbon all days and, you know, watch the stories. So I think she's got it in for the new girl. Heavenly said on her YouTube channel that Toya does not like new people. She absolutely does not like it when someone new is introduced to the group, because she feels threatened that her position will be taken. So maybe that's why she went kind of hard on Audra by calling her a bad attorney, or saying that she wasn't a good attorney, because she's worried that maybe Audra will take her place. I have no idea. I don't think Toya has anything to worry about. Toya, you and Eugene, people love making fun of y'all, so I don't think Bravo's gonna fire y'all anytime soon. Thank you so much for joining me for this boring review. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Subscribe, and if you don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.